time and you talk, and it's like having a coffee with someone, which is totally different than the soundbite kind
right.
of
totally.
stuff that anyone else is doing. So that's the neat thing that you guys.
Especially when we drink something other than just water.
It happens. If you get invited
That's
back,
happened from time to time.
All right, so should we start this off with some T-shirt talk?
Yeah.
Just like last time.
Like the platypus.
I'm missing the platypus.
Yeah.
Star Wars: The Saga continues, and this is who is
The
that?
Count. From Sesame Street.
From Sesame Street.
He glows in the
Guys,
dark.
seriously, man. No, because honestly,
For sure? Yeah.
that hasn't made an appearance yet on camera.
Oh, yeah.
It has.
It
many
has,
times.
Oh,
it has
yeah.
to have. I'm
It's
sure.
amazing.
At some point, you should wear
'Cause you
yours,
got
and I
Slimer,
should wear my
yeah.
Slimer one, and we'll just turn off the lights in the studio and just have the cameras pick up the glow.
Glows in the dark.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I didn't realize that when I bought it. I just thought it was a cool design because they had all these they had Frankenstein and
Yeah.
stuff, like all these cool monsters and stuff, looking like they were carved out of a jack-o'-lantern. I'm like, this is amazing. And I bought it on like a whim. I was like, I'm going back for one of them shirts. And then I got home one night after wearing it, and my whole front hallway lit up because I was like, where's that light source coming from? It's
You
me.
save power too. You don't need to turn your lights on.
She can
Exactly.
read by that
Just
light.
walk
yeah.
around and you read by it.
I don't step on the cats by accident.
I saved 23 marvelous dollars. That's great. Well, it's nice seeing you guys.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
absolutely delighted actually when I got your DM. And I'm like, that's awesome, Anthony's going to be there. Like,
I know.
because I was in Montreal when I got it. Because I was in Montreal over the weekend.
What were you doing there?
My girlfriend's family lives there, so we went up for a big confirmation thing, big Italian to do, and
Okay.
yeah, there was a lot of that.
you connected again now? Is that what's going on?
It's a little bit. Hey.
No, I have to give you interviews or else I get my knees busted
That's
by Guido, your second cousin.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, but as soon as I got it, I sent Sue the text. I'm like, Anthony's gonna be there, and all I get back is yay. So
That was the thing, because we've been talking about this for a long time, about finally getting on the listener set. And then things got shuffled around a little bit. Like, I think even last year we were looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, I was like, because we were trying to get Lauren back into the studio.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, why don't you just interview her on set? And I'm like, that's a great idea.
It is.
But
because
then the
that is
announcement came out
fantastic.
that
I
you
mean,
were
seriously.
back, and I was
Yeah.
like, we happen to know him too. So if it could be a day that he's...
Bring it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's
Let's just
So cool.
have all our friends come on set.
Now, did Ennis take you on a tour of?
no,
Not yet.
No, not yet.
It was too bad because he's the guy. I mean, I've only been in this set as an actor once. I had one scene. Becker had one scene in this set, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a
just
great
gorgeous,
set.
Gorgeous set.
Yeah.
Did a really good job.
But he was talking about your voice on set. Your
It's loud
He's jealous.
and gravelly.
yes, he wants the gravelly voice.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit different than my normal voice, which is fun. It's been nice. Becker's a cool character that way in that he's just he's a little bit more of a hard ass and a little bit more of a guy's guy kind of thing than I actually am in real life.
So to speak.
So no, it has been fun, and the voice sort of
Wicked.
helps me get there as an actor. But I think it's also it's just been fun. It's been fun to sort of play a little bit differently.
You're like the toughest guy on set.
It's not hard on this show. It's a touchy-feely show. It's not exactly like Flashpoint, I'm not even hanging out with like a New Dylan or something like that.
At least you said it, and I didn't have to.
Yeah,
that's good.
right. No, but to be honest, it's actually one of the storylines of season 5. Like when you get a cop kind of coming in there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
all of
it
a
changes
sudden,
the dynamic.
running the ship a little bit like an actual police department as opposed to what it had been run.
Right.
Klein was a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's I think one of the interesting parts about The Listener, that it isn't. It's a cop show without being a cop show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. His skills are such that it's almost like he's like a psychologist
Yeah.
who's figuring out crimes. Really, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of what's been one of the strong suits of the show, that it doesn't lead with the cop foot forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's going to be obviously some tension between you and Toby because Becker's still got that issue.
There's plenty of tension between me and Toby. Between Becker.
Yes. Sorry.
I
No.
like her. It's that's, as an actor, especially when you're coming into a procedural show, a lot of procedural stuff is just getting the information out there so the audience can get from point A to point B. And what's been really fun for me to play as an actor, and I think what will be fun for the audience to watch is a lot of those scenes that could be a little drier, that are just tic-tac-toe scenes. Well, all of a sudden now there's this undercurrent where I don't trust anything he's saying. He doesn't know whether I'm going to fire him. I think he got my partner killed, and big chip on my shoulder, and there's just like sort of a mini cockfight going on in all these scenes, and it doesn't play right on the front of the scenes. The scenes are ostensibly about trying to solve a crime, but
it's
there's
all
always
there.
those little arrows going at least definitely that way, and sometimes coming back from Toby towards Becker as well. So that's been a lot of fun, and I think the audience is going to enjoy that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Have you had like a favorite moment being back with the series this season?
Favorite moment was a call from Adam Haight sometime before it started. Says, by the way, Becker's back. I'm like, yes! No, I think what I said was, that sounds really cool. How are you planning on using him? And then he told me how they're planning. And then I went, yeah.
Nice.
Because in the first season, he was cool, but he was a bit more perfunctory, just the way the show was structured. And that was, again, it was great to be on the team, and I love the folks from Shaftesbury and Adam Haight. I worked with a lot in my career, but the character itself was nowhere near as interesting as this iteration of Becker.
He kind of walk in, say stuff, walk out.
Yeah, walk in, say stuff, get angry at Charlie, and leave. Basically about it. What the hell's he doing here? That kind of thing. Are they dating? This kind of thing. So now it's now the structure of the show is such that he's more present, and the relationship is more complex. Then it's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 seasons in on a show, you have that ability now.
Yeah.
Whereas initially it's all exposition and setting stuff up. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, plus my role was just different. I mean, the show was a very, very different show in season 1 than it is now, and that's been one of the really cool things about the listener. It's been able to change.
I mean, it grows and changes. And
It evolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does season 5 start airing?
It starts airing on March 20th.
Seriously?
Sorry, May. And cut. Edit. No. That other month that starts with A. M-A-Y.
That's the
month.
one. That's the one.
Sweet.
Okay, good.
That's right. 26th, I believe it is. Hang on just 1 second.
Ooh,
I will tell you exactly.
It's not a Mind Reels interview unless we go to a phone.
Yeah, it's not a Mind Reels interview with me unless we go to a phone.
That's right.
Indeed, season 5 premieres on... Are you ready for this?
Totally ready for it.
Unless I show my phone. Right there. Can you see it?
Yep.
That's when it premieres. There's all these great little talking points, actually, that I got from...
Oh. If you don't mention those, you get in trouble.
That's right. And in fact, that's neat, actually. You can see that right there. The listener continues to drive audiences. 1.1 million average last year. 1.4 million.
Wow.
No, I mean, seriously.
Those are good numbers for...
And the numbers, were going up over season 3.
Yeah.
So, pretty amazing. Yeah, really cool.
I love it because it's like that little... It started out like that little small show, and now it's turned into that big show that could.
Yeah, cool. I know. Yeah, from being there in the first season and all the hiccups that season had in terms of finding what the show was and the scheduling, and there were multiple hiatuses that were required because they had to figure out the show and get the writing down. And I mean, really, I'd never been anything like that. But kudos to Shaftesbury for sticking with it and creating a show that folks want to watch.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It's unique enough that it doesn't have...
Yeah.
It's not an oversaturated market for this kind of show.
Yeah.
Because it could be. You could have too many cop shows if it was just a cop show,
but it isn't.
It's not.
Yeah, that's it. It's not a cop show. And even when it became more concentrated on a format a lot like a cop show, it's still somehow they managed to stay away. And this year's even
And it wasn't a hospital show?
Really?
Traditional in format. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Right? Right here.
The bar is the new...
Boom, there it is. Like, here we are at Cheers, right? I mean, seriously. And this is where Oz plays most of the time. And the show ends up being totally different in feel from the A story, which is the IIB stuff, to the stuff that Annis gets to do in this lovely set. And it works amazingly well.
Yeah, we were talking about that, how in a more social environment you'd see different sides of the characters than you would see
the
in
characters relate
the
to each other
IIB.
differently than when they were at work.
Yeah.
Unless they're really drunk.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, that's what this is for.
Becker could probably put it away.
Yeah.
I think Becker's
doesn't
like
get
a
really
Jack
drunk.
man.
He just drinks a lot.
Yeah.
He's got like a bottle of scotch.
In fact, we did just shoot the scene where Becker comes out with a the bottle of whiskey. He's like, "All right, guys," and everyone's all the rats are deserting the ship as Becker comes out with his bottle of whiskey. It's very funny. It's a fun little scene. That's in episode 12.
Nice.
11.
11 and 12.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. Now, what else have you got on the go? I mean, you're still, you've got the 3 kids at home still.
Yeah, I got my kids.
Yeah.
We got a puppy.
Did you?
See, now
Yeah,
Sue's going to want
2.5 months.
details on that.
Details? You want deets on the
Yeah.
puppy? He's at the vet this morning. Just weighed in, 30.5 pounds. Little
good God.
3-month-old puppy. He's going to be large.
What kind of puppy?
He looks, it's interesting because we got our first dog, which was a Rottweiler cross, at the Pound
Right.
on River Street. The
Yeah.
The Humane Society.
Exactly. That dog lived with us for 13 years, died last year, and we were in Montreal almost the entire time for that dog's life. And then we came back and went back to the same Pound and said, okay, now we're ready to get a dog. We looked around the Pound, there was nothing we liked. And so we went and talked to the guy at the desk there, and turns out he was the manager of adoption, which is important for the rest of the story. Okay, there's nothing there and whatever. And he said, oh, what kind of dog are you looking for? I said, well, the last dog we got from you guys was, and I described our dog, this beautiful Rottweiler cross, and gorgeous 80-pound dog, really, really smart and gentle and sensitive, really, really the best kind of dog that you could possibly ever have. And I said, we have 3 little kids, so we're looking for a puppy, and I know you don't get a lot of puppies in because, people love puppies.
Yeah.
They don't give them away. They give them away when they're
Yeah, they
problem
wait till
dogs.
they're a year
They're
old.
like, oh my God, I can't handle this one, this 80-pound dog that's a year and a half, and he's crazy, chewing on my kid's ear.
Why didn't I train him?
Yes, exactly. When he was so cute, that's when you probably should have told him to stop chewing on your kid's ear. So he said, really, that's what you're looking for, right? So why don't you just leave your family there? Come on back with me. And so I go back into the they have like a vet section there where the public doesn't go.
Right.
And there's this little puppy, 2.5 months, that was the carbon copy
Oh
of the
my
same
God.
dog
Oh, no
we
way.
got 13 years earlier at
That's
the same
amazing.
Pound. Yeah, and I was like, my wife has to see this dog. So I left. I said, you got to go back and see this dog. And she was like, oh, no. So that became our dog.
That's
Yes.
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah. There is a longer story, but I won't bother.
That's all right. It looked like somebody was getting ready to flag you down anyway.
Yeah.
Is that how it goes? Do I have to
Yeah.
go? See, this is the bummer thing about being on set. The 1-hour interview.
You got
on-
it. Yeah.
I have
Well,
so
we'll
many
just
more
have you
boring
back
stories to
in the
tell.
studio.
So many more.
And more YouTube videos to share. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, we have to talk about the Bomb Girls movie.
Oh, Bomb Girls. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that
I
was
was
a
like,
lot
yeah,
of fun.
Anthony Lepke. Oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah. People haven't seen the movie. Oh, good
Yeah,
guy.
that's true. It's actually
Great guy, yeah.
It's airing in the
I
US
don't know, misunderstood.
on the 26th.
Half my family's German, so just because they were on the other side doesn't mean they were assholes.
That's true.
Misdirected, perhaps. Anyway,
That is awesome.
yeah. So,
oh.
guys, thanks for coming out to the set, and I hope we get a chance to do this again. No, honestly, it's a real pleasure, and congratulations on everything you guys have been able to do with the show.
Yeah,
And,
it's been.
yeah, I
Yeah,
bet.
we've been really blessed. I mean, I'm not religious, but we've definitely been
Yeah.
blessed. Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna be religious after all this.
All right, that's just scary.
Yeah. See you later. Don't ever change. I mean,
See you.
don't ever change
Wow.
the notion of
Right.
T-shirts, but do change your T-shirts.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. See you later.